Hola. What's up? Good afternoon. Got a Trump rally that's supposed to be happening in North Carolina, where there's apparently currently, I think there's some type of killer on the loose. Let me see. That I escaped, I think, prison. North Carolina escapee. Killing a child. Today's the second day. Oh yeah, he's still on the loose. Apparently killed the child. We could take a look at that later, a little bit on the main channel if there's time. I don't want to do too much today. Maybe more tomorrow on the main. I haven't done anything, but I want to have some stuff to do. But we'll see because there were some press conferences. I think there's even a live stream. We'll see. I might jump on that for a little bit. Might actually be a good thing to cover for a bit, depending on how long this takes. Because Trump tends to go on for a while, probably 2 hours. They close pools in Florida. My pool's like always closed, and it's annoying as ished. I don't know what's going on now. I even called him the other day. It's always closed, always maintenance, always something. By the way, Bueller is out there. He was gonna go in, but it was a really long line. Let me see if I can show this video. I might not be able to play it. Gotta be careful with that song because every time I play it, they want to copyright me. I don't know, this thing's not letting me download. Amazing. Alright, fuck it. I'll just have to play it from here. So a lot of people out there, people celebrating this. Sorry, that's the line. My mouse is
sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business.
My mouse is acting up too. I don't know if I'm gonna have to get a new. I actually have an extra one I could use. I might have to change it out because I'm having a hard time clicking. It's not moving as smoothly over the mouse pad thing. Okay, I can save this. There it is, a long line. He left. I don't know if I could do a rally. It might be cool to go, but I don't like to be stuck in places for prolonged periods of time. I wouldn't want to be there stuck for a long time. I wouldn't want to be waiting online for a long time. I wouldn't want to be, and then to leave and, parking and finding whatever and getting out. I don't know if I could do all that. Island Thrift says by the way, thank you for the throw. Is that Maddie's? I don't know, but I threw it up back there. It looks nice. So yeah, all the media claiming Trump had a lisp. I still remember when they said bumbling Biden has a lisp and to stop making fun of him. You know what Trump said? He had posted on his social media, Truth Social, and he posted the actual full audio. He said that because all those people were on Twitter, the audio was like funky. He said he wasn't slurring. I haven't listened to the new audio he posted, but he had somebody recording him while he did that interview. And so, I don't know. That's what he said. That's what she said. Stand up. Mm-hmm. By the way, Lilypad sent me this. Apparently, there's been like this huge social security number leak online. And some hackers claim to have all this information. I don't know if they actually dropped it yet. They're threatening to drop it. Hackers may have stolen the social security numbers of every American. Lord Almighty! So you might have to get. They're saying you might have to download one of those credit check things like Aura or. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that. they're saying people are going to have to maybe start buying or, signing up to these services, I guess, that protect or monitor your information. What's up? Oh, the audio was normal B12? Okay, on the new audio. I don't want to hear anything about Kamala having more energy than Trump. He's running the circles. Kamala hasn't done one interview since, how long has it been? 6 weeks or how many weeks it's been? She hasn't sat down with anybody. She's like refusing to sit down and talk with these media people. From Detroit. Just trying to avoid the copyright. Yeah, that's true, Wilson. Elon said he posted a clear version as well. So he's supposed to be addressing the economy, making some remarks on that. As far as the lawsuit with Imani, that boxer, Algerian boxer, that there was a lot of talk about that person's gender. I've already mentioned she's suing Elon. She's suing, was it Trump? I forgot who else. But now they added Logan Paul to the list for cyberbullying. I was like, bruh. There's no tax on Social Security that Kamala stole after Trump had said it. I can't believe the nerve of her standing up there. Not more tax on tips when she actually passed something. I forgot I was watching Mark Dice this morning. She had passed something that actually makes it so that more IRS people are looking into those people that make those type of tips and stuff to crack down and keep an eye on them. She voted for the IRS. Damn, every American Social Security number may have been stolen in a new major hack. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, they might hoax. I didn't think about that. She might have to prove it. Uh-oh. Is the volume again? I gotta turn it up.
Well, thank you very much. And a very big
there we go. They fixed it.
Hello to
Hola.
North Carolina. Thank you very much. It's great to be back in this beautiful state with the proud, hardworking patriots who make our country run. You really do. You built our country. You make our country run. I want to thank a very good man, and he's in there fighting. He's fighting, and we know he's a fighter. The next governor of North Carolina, Mark Robinson. Thanks, Mark. Mrs. Robinson, thank you. They're a great couple. Thank you both. Thank you very much. Thank you, Don. Thank you very much. Well, this is a very frisky group, I have to say. And by the way, we have some very good polls coming out today, I just heard. Despite all of the fake publicity about this radical left person from San Francisco. How's San Francisco doing? Not like North Carolina. No, we have some very good polls coming out, so that's good. You know, considering the fact that what they do, what the fake news is able to do, and yet we're leading, and let them have their convention, and who knows how that's going to turn out. Joe Biden is a very angry man, you know that, right? Because they took it away from him. They usurped it. They took it away from him. Terrible, terrible. And I'm not sure that they picked the right guy in him, but he got 14 million votes. He got 14 million votes. He got no votes. And you look at what happens. That's not the way it's supposed to happen.
Shit.
They are a threat to democracy, right, as they say. They are a threat to democracy. But thanks as well to members of Congress, Chuck Edwards and Virginia Fox, warriors. Thank you, wherever you may be. Good. Thank you. Thanks, Chuck. Thank you, Virginia. State Auditor candidate Dave Bollock. He said, I'm only in politics for you, sir. Where is Dave? Anybody that would save, Dave, if you say that, and do you mean that? If you mean that, I'm for you all the way. He has my endorsement. Thank you, Dave. A man who's doing an incredible job, so good. When we won this state, and we won it easily, I said, Michael Watley, you're going to head the RNC with Laura. And they're doing an incredible job. And also your North Carolina GOP chairman, Jason Simmons. Jason, thank you. We doing okay? We're doing good, Jason? Okay, we're way up here. We got to make sure everyone gets out and votes, but we're way up, so I want to thank you. We've had tremendous experience here. We won every time we were in. A special place. Well, my son, you know, he and his wonderful wife, you know who I'm talking about, Lara. But Eric and Lara, they named their beautiful daughter Carolina. Okay. I said, which one are you talking about? Well, you know, today I'm going to say it's North Carolina, right? No, she was born here, raised here, and I'm sure it's a big reason we've done so well here. She's great. She's really terrific, and he is a great young man. I mean, you know, I'm a little prejudiced perhaps because he's my son, a little bit, but they're a great couple, and thank you very much. We appreciate it. With the help of everyone in this room, 83 days from now, can you imagine 83 days? We're almost there. We got to get it. We're going to defeat super liberal, more liberal than Bernie Sanders. Did you hear that? The most liberal person in the Senate. Can you believe that? We're going to defeat Kamala Harris. We're going to win back the White House in a historic landslide, and we're going to take back our country. We're going to take it back. And I think it's important to say, and I never get corrected. I know it's fact because, you know, if I'm slightly off, they do stories, headlines. He didn't tell quite the truth. Well, we are leading the biggest political movement in the history of our country, bigger than any movement ever before. There's never been a movement like this. It's called Make America Great Again, MAGA. Make America Great Again.
Imagine Kamala starts saying that shit. How great that'd be.
I say to the Democrats when they come out, well, you know, we've got to try and stop MAGA. MAGA is Make America Great Again. What do you want to stop it for? That's what we're doing. They put in a candidate and we beat him badly. How did he do in the debate? Then they put in another candidate. This is like you have two fighters and one guy's losing. They say, come on out, let's put in another one. So then they put in another candidate, and we're doing very well, considering the fact that she has the greatest press. She went from being a totally disrespected person 6 weeks ago. Nobody thought she had a chance. Nobody, and I don't think she can possibly win. If she does, our country is finished. You want to know the truth. But she was totally disrespected. The most unpopular vice president in the history of our country. And then they decided to get politically correct. We have to put her in. They put her in, and now they're putting her on the covers of Time magazine with an artist sketch. They don't use a picture. They don't use a picture. They use an artist sketch. I want to use that artist. I want to find that artist. I like him very much. Oh, but we're going to beat her also, and they may then get a third candidate. Who knows? This is a little bit different than we're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to have a candidate. You know, we spent probably $100 million on beating him. Then we had a very good debate, and we beat him. And they said, well, instead of letting it go, who knows what happens, right? It's the world of politics. They say, we want him out. Joe, you're getting out now, Joe. Well, I don't want to get out. I have 14. You're getting out now, Joe. We can do it the nice way, or we can do it the hard way. And he's getting out. He's getting out. In fact, they're not even giving him a good spot to speak. You know, when he's speaking on Monday, Monday's not that's the worst day. But that's what they do, and it's their own form of, it's just another I guess relatively it's a minor form of cheating by comparison to what they really do, right? Everything Kamala Harris touches turns bad. It all turns bad. San Francisco was a great city. Now it's unlivable. California was a great state. Now it's unlivable. She breaks everything just like she broke the border, broke our economy. But soon we are going to fix every single problem Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have created, and we are going to save our country. We are going to save America. We're going to save America. Now, this is a little bit different day because this isn't around. This is we're talking about a thing called the economy. They wanted to do a speech on the economy. A lot of people are very devastated by what's happened with inflation and all of the other things. So we're doing this as a intellectual speech. You're all intellectuals today. Today we're doing it, and we're doing it right now, and it's very important. They say it's the most important subject. I think crime is right there. I think the border is right there, personally. We have a lot of important subjects because our country has become a third world nation. We literally are a third world nation. We're a banana republic in so many ways, and we're not going to let that happen because we're starting a free fall. But from today and from the day I take the oath of office, we will rapidly drive prices down and make America affordable again. We're going to make it affordable again. Under Kamala Harris and crooked Joe Biden, the American dream is dead. You don't hear about the American dream anymore. It's dead. Her radical liberal policies have caused horrific inflation, decimated the middle class, and gutted the finances of millions and millions of American families. Real incomes are down by over $2,000 a year per family. I mean, that's a lot of money. They're down by that, and it's actually much more if you figure it a certain way. If you add some other categories in, it's much more than that. But down by 2,000 since she took office, and it was just announced that real earnings were down once again at a record rate.
Thank you.
The Harris price hikes have cost the typical household $28,000. Congratulations. Hope everyone's happy. Credit card debt has exploded, and it's exploded to the highest it's ever been, and the cost of a typical monthly mortgage has tripled, and probably more than that if you think about it. We were at about 2.4%, and now you're up to 10% and even 11%, but you're really not there because you can't get the money even if you want to pay it. In July alone, 350,000 people were added to the unemployment rolls. Kamala Harris wants to talk about her fantasies, and they are everything she says. If I say something, she said, that's what she's going to do, too. I say, what are you doing?
It's true.
But she wants to talk for the future about these fantasies, but really what she needs to explain is the present suffering that she's caused along with Joe Biden. And by the way, they're a team. You know, she's trying to throw him overboard. She doesn't want to know who he is anymore. She doesn't want to talk about him anymore. She says, let's not bring this guy in.
Love Trump's United States.
Bring him in. No, they were a team. He appointed her as border czar, and she did the worst job in the history of borders, I will tell you.
And there's people that still deny it, which is so crazy. I saw this huge person with millions of some broadcast news person. And they're like, oh, that's not true. And they literally have collage video of the media saying that's who she is years ago.
Does anyone here feel richer under Kamala Harris than
Hell no, man.
Joe
This tax
than you were
crazy.
During the Trump administration?
Everything's up, groceries are up, everything's expensive
under Kamala Harris and crooked Joe. I mean, we had inflation that I don't believe we've ever had inflation like that. You can go back a long way. Are you better off now with Harris and Biden than you were with a person named President Donald J. Trump? Do you know him? He's a nice gentleman. Nice gentleman. With 4 more years of Harris, your finances will never recover. They're never going to recover. Our country will never recover, frankly, more importantly. It will be unrecoverable. Vote Trump and your incomes will soar, your savings will grow, young people will be able to afford a home, and we will bring back the American dream bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Look at this. We have a lot of front row Joes here. Wow. Hello. What a great group of patriots they are. I don't know. They've gone to, I think, 219 or 220. And this isn't rally, but this is a different kind of a thing. Today we're going to talk about one subject, and then we'll start going back to the other, because we sort of love that, don't we? But it's an important, they say it's the most important subject. I'm not sure it is, but they say it's the most important. Inflation is the most important, but that's part of economy. Kamala Harris wants to be in charge of the entire U.S. economy, but neither she nor her running mate is the beauty, isn't he? He signed a bill. He wants tampons in boys' bathrooms.
I heard about that.
I don't think
that's so crazy.
Tampons.
That's just ridiculous. I just, come on, man.
But they've never held a private sector job in their entire professional careers, and it's no wonder they're both socialists. They're actually beyond socialists. I think they skipped over socialists. That's why I think when people find out, because you don't know who these people are, I think when people find out who they are, I personally don't think they can do well in the election. They've destroyed this country. What they've done, when you look at San Francisco, what happened to, and she was the one that started it years ago. She was district attorney. Then she was the attorney general of the state of California. California is a disaster now.
Oh,
now, Gavin Newsom hasn't helped very much.
Newsom, I like
but
that.
It's a disaster. She was the one. This November, voters are going to give radical liberal Kamala Harris the opportunity to try something new, a real job in the private sector for the first time in her life. It's nice. Kamala has declared that tackling inflation will be a day one priority. Just think of it.
Right
for her, but day one for Kamala was 3.5 years ago. Why hasn't she done it?
Right.
You know, I keep saying, she's one of these complainers, you know, like a critic. I remember growing up, I'd see plays on Broadway, and I'd go to different things, and you'd always have critics, they criticize, but I'd see, and they were critical, but they never did it themselves, you know? She's a critic, that's all she is. She never did anything. Nothing that she ever did worked. When Kamala lays, and she got lucky with this. She was the first one out. She was 22 people, I guess, I hear. I just asked, I said, that many? A lot of people. She never made it to Iowa, the great state of Iowa. She was the first one out. She had a lack of skill, and people didn't like her, and now she's running for president, and she never got one vote. Think about that. When Kamala lays out her fake economic plan this week, probably will be a copy of my plan, because basically that's what she does. Just remember, she goes to work every morning in the West Wing. Her desk is 10 steps from the Oval Office. She cast the tie-breaking votes that gave us record inflation, and for nearly 4 years, Kamala has crackled as the American economy has burned. What happened to her laugh? I haven't heard that laugh in about a week. That's why they keep her off the stage. That's why she's disappeared. That's the laugh of a crazy person, I will tell you, if you haven't known it. It's a crazy.
No!
She's crazy.
Oh, they're going to get him for that.
They told her, don't laugh, don't laugh. No, it's her.
I need to get her laugh. Let me pull up Kamala laugh.
No, her laugh is career-threatening. They said don't laugh. She hasn't laughed. She doesn't laugh anymore. It's smart, but someday it's going to come out. That's the laugh of a person with some big problems. She says her plan is going to be bring down prices. She thinks she's going to bring down prices. Then why? Here's a simple little few words. Why didn't you do it, Kamala? Why didn't you do it? You've been there 3.5 years. Why aren't you doing it now? You can do it right now. I can say that with everything. Why hasn't she secured the border? You know, she was the border czar, right? She was the border czar. It was a big deal. She says now she wasn't the border czar. That's okay. She was in charge of the border. Call it whatever you want. But she was in charge, and it was the worst. This was the worst border in history. There's never been a border in the world like this. Why hasn't she brought back the jobs? Why? She talks about jobs. We're going to come up with a new plan. She's been there for 3.5 years with a man who, frankly, she defrauded the public because she didn't tell you about that man. I exposed him during the debate. Thank you very much. Thank you. And now the bombs are starting to drop in the Middle East. You see what's going on there, right? That would have never happened. Israel would have never happened. Ukraine would have never happened with Russia. You wouldn't have ever had an embarrassment like that Afghanistan disaster, with worst, most embarrassing day in our country's history. Inflation would have never happened. We would have never had it. It was caused by a very stupid energy policy. Then he went back to my policy because prices were going up so much. But it'll end. If they won this election on day one, all of that would end, and this country will go through hell, and it can never come back. Once it goes, it's pretty far down already. I'm going to have to work very hard. It's pretty far down. When you let 20 million people come into our country from places unknown and from prisons and from mental institutions and terrorists, Kamala Harris won't end the economic crisis. She will only make it worse. And why hasn't she done it? She talks about it. She's doing a plan. You know, she's going to announce it this week, maybe. She's waiting for me to announce it so she can copy it.
I know.
Like, remember a couple of days ago? And we will have no tax on tips. I said that was my plan. Not only didn't she, I mean, they came up with a plan to go after all these people violently. Then one day she just uttered that sound, but she'll copy a lot of other things too. But she'll never do them. She'll never do them. She'll say them for the election, but she'll never do them. She can't solve the problem because she is the problem. She really is. People like her. When I left office, I handed Kamala and crooked Joe Biden a surging economy with no inflation. The 30-year mortgage rate was 2.4%. Gasoline had reached $1.87 a gallon, and for periods of time was even lower than that. The African-American poverty rate was down 7%. The Hispanic American poverty rate was down 8%. The biggest drops, the greatest drops that you've ever seen in this country. They've never had it so well. Nobody has. Every group, men, women, Hispanics, Asians, blacks, everybody was down at a level that nobody's ever seen. We had some of the greatest periods of economic growth and health that any country has ever seen. I think probably more than any country has ever seen. In 4 short years under President Trump, we passed the largest tax cuts in history, the largest regulation cuts in history. We unleashed American energy, and real income surged by more than $4,200 in just a short number of months. I mean, it was nobody, you never had it so good. Now you're not doing so well, I hate it. We had the strongest economy in history. There's never been a country that had an economy like us. I gave Harris and Biden an economic miracle, and they quickly turned it into an economic nightmare with a nation-wrecking agenda ripped straight out of Kamala's San Francisco liberal playbook. What they've done to poor San Francisco. Well, we're gonna try and bring that back too. Harris and Biden waged war on American energy, threw open our borders, flooded the country with low-wage migrant workers, passed the Green New scam, racked up almost $10 trillion in debt, and buried our workers in job-killing regulations, costing $10,000 per family. That's a lot of money. You don't have to imagine what a Harris presidency would look like. You're living through the misery right now, except it will get worse, and you're paying the price, a price like nobody's ever paid, and we're disrespected all over the world as a country. We were respected before Putin respected us. President Xi of China respected us. Kim Jong-un of North Korea respected us. We were respected by everybody in the world. Today we're being laughed at. Today we're being laughed at all over the world. You're paying the price for Kamala's liberal extremism at the gas pump, at the grocery counter, and on your mortgage bill, and on everything else. How about your car insurance? How's that doing? Not too good, right? I saw it today. It's up like 82%.
But it is up. It's great.
We're not going to let this incompetent socialist lunatic keep breaking our economy for 4 more years. It'll destroy our country. On Election Day, we're going to tell her that we've had enough, that we can't take it anymore, Kamala. You're doing a horrible job. You were a terrible attorney general. You were a terrible district attorney. You're the worst vice president in history. Kamala, you're fired. Get out of here. Go. Get out of here.
Okay.
Get her.
Yo. I need to get that thing where I can clip the last 15 seconds. That'd really help me out.
Thank you.
There's something on here to do that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was not a pleasant day. I'll tell you, front row Joes were there. Front row Joes were there. They've seen it all, haven't you, huh? You've seen it. That was a horrible day. That was a terrible day. She's flip-flopping on every single thing she's ever espoused or believed in, the border, health care, crime. But she truly is a radical. She's flip-flopping on everything to get elected. After she gets elected, it all goes right back to where it was. She refuses to do any interviews or press conferences. Almost 30 days now. She hasn't done an interview. You know why she hasn't done an interview? Because she's not smart. She's not intelligent. And we've gone through enough of that with this guy, Crooked Joe. He didn't do interviews either. They kept him in his basement, and essentially they're keeping her in the basement the same way they kept her. They don't want to expose her to, like, a question like, what did you have for dinner tonight? Remember, Joe, what kind of ice cream is your favorite? Vanilla. Oh, I like vanilla. Oh. That was George Flopadopoulos. He asked him that. What's your favorite ice cream? With me, they asked me a little bit different question. That's all right. Did everybody the other night see Elon and me? Right? This is great. That was one of the most successful shows ever done. I mean, that was a lot of people like him. I think they like me too, come to think of it. But he's great. And he gave us his full endorsement. He's a great guy. But he basically, he's a guy doesn't need this stuff. What he wants to do is see our country be great again. And he understands. And it's very hard for him to endorse the opposing party. It's not easy. It's very hard. But, he really cares about our country, and he knows the opposing party has really destroyed our country and will destroy our country and permanently destroy our country, and he can't watch that. But we had a great chat for 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours being grilled by Elon, and we had a good time, actually. We're talking about something we love, our country. Much easier when you love something, right? She doesn't want anybody to know what she's really for, and that way she can change it, I mean, she'll tell you what she wants and change it the way she wants it, and ultimately it'll be the way she wants it. I mean, the clown that she picked as a vice president, this guy's a clown. He was so bad. When Minneapolis was burning down, he didn't want to call in the National Guard. I got him on the phone. You got to get the National Guard. Get it. I'm telling you, if I didn't force it upon him, you might not have the city. Remember CNN standing up? This is a season of love. This is one. This is a very peaceful protest.
Mostly peaceful protest.
And the whole city is burning down behind him. You ever see anything? As far as the eye could see, the whole thing looked like World War II. Speaking of World War III, I'll keep you out of World War III. He's going to put you in World War III. We're very close. You're very close to being in a war, a big war, a world war. You're very close. We've never been this close. And we have incompetent people in the White House, grossly incompetent people. There was no reason for Russia and Ukraine to go at it. There was no reason for Israel to be attacked on our...
apparently, Ukraine, I think it was like today, last night or something, or the day before, they did some type of a sneak attack. And they took over, I don't know how many hundreds of square miles or something. I was kind of surprised, like, damn, Russia looks kind of weak. I mean, not that I want Ukraine to get destroyed, but I'm like, yo, they're making progress on Russia? I mean, I don't know if they'll ever take the whole thing, but
October 7th would have never happened. But a politician will always go back to where they started, and on November 6th, She will be a San Francisco liberal, again, destroying everything in sight.
Yep.
I wonder what she does after this. Our country will never recover, especially when added to the destruction they've already caused over the last almost 4 years. Think of our country. Think of the border. Think of what happened. We had the best border. You know my all-time favorite graph, right? That is my all-time favorite graph, not only because it shows the best border, but for another reason. I tell you what, I'm glad I looked around to look at it. Go, wah, pew. That's my favorite of all time. Even if it was... Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Even if it were bad numbers, negative numbers, I still think it would be my favorite of all time. If Harris wins this election, the result will be a Kamala economic crash, a 1929-style depression. 1929. When I win the election, we will immediately begin a brand new Trump economic boom. It'll be a boom. We're going to turn this country around so fast. Many people say that the only reason the stock market is up is because people think I am going to win. Did you ever hear that? But there was one day, a couple of weeks ago, when they weren't thinking that, and you saw what happened. This will be a 1929-style crash. You know, I have one of the most brilliant men in Wall Street, I think here. I shook hands with him just a little while ago. Scott, where's Scott? Where's Scott? Oh, stand up. This man, will you come up here, please? Just come up here for a moment. He is considered one of the most brilliant men on Wall Street, and he's made certain statements. I'd like him to make them because probably I'd be better off if he made them than me, right? But I do agree with him. But no, he's considered one of the greatest on all of Wall Street, respected by everybody. And I'm not sure he can get through Secret Service. It's gotten very tight. Come on up, Scott. Come on up. Come on up, Scott. Come on up here. Look at him. And he's a nice-looking guy, too. You want to say a couple of words? Sure. Come on.
Look, this is the Trump economy. This is the Trump stock market. And I can tell you that it will be Kamala Harris will start with the Kamala crash in the stock market, and then it will be the Kamala crash in the economy. And I don't think that's going to happen. You know, I am convinced that President Trump is ahead in the polls now. He is going to stay ahead in the polls, and that he may beat Kamala Harris by more than he would have beaten President Biden.
Thanks. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. Is he central casting? He's central casting. Thank you. Now, he's been very strong on that. He said that if they get in, you're going to have a 1929-style crash. He's been very strong on it. But others have said that, too. And we don't want that to happen to our country. That would be devastating for you, for everybody. On my first day back in the Oval Office, I will sign an executive order directing every cabinet secretary and agency head to use every tool and authority at their disposal to defeat inflation and to bring consumer prices rapidly down. We'll do it very rapidly. When you look at the costs of groceries, the cost of bacon, where it went up 4 and 5 times. Bacon. I don't order bacon anymore. It's too expensive. It will be a whole of government effort to raise the standard of living and make American life affordable again. It's going to really be a very important thing, affordable, because it's not affordable. Even if you're doing a little bit better, you've lost all of your money because of inflation. It's been out of control for a long time. And don't forget, now, eventually, it's starting to maybe get under control, but you're already up 50, 60, 70% in so many items. You look at car insurance. I couldn't believe when I looked at those numbers this morning. I was studying numbers, and I looked at the car insurance numbers. It's incredible. And that's just one of many. You can go through many. But the groceries, just to put it in simple terms, people go to the grocery store, and they have less than half a deal. In fact, I had something here. I did have something I would show you. Wait a minute. I don't know if you've seen this. I used it once. Oh, I have it. I do have it. Look at this. Look at this. So this is Tic Tacs, right? I don't know if I like the company. I've never met. I have no idea. They're so lucky. Look at all the television. This is the greatest commercial they ever had. But that's what happened. This is inflation. This is Tic Tac. This is Tic Tac. This is inflation. This is what's happened. I just happened to have, somebody gave me this one today. I said, I think we'll put it up as an example of inflation. But you know what? Inflation is destroying our country. It's destroying our families. We will target everything from car affordability to housing affordability to insurance costs to supply chain issues. We have the worst supply chain we've ever had in the history of the country. To the price of prescription drugs. I will instruct my cabinet that I expect results within the first 100 days or much sooner than that. I would say the first 7 days is fine. Car insurance is up 70 to 100%, and you can't get it. You can't even get it. Do you agree with that? You can't even get it, they tell me. Insurance is up 50% or higher. The whole industry is out of control. The insurance industry has never been anything we have never been in a situation with insurance like it is right now. You can't get it, no matter what you pay. But prices will come down. You just watch. They'll come down, and they'll come down fast, not only with insurance, with everything. At the center of our effort to bring the cost of living under control will be the all-out push to end the Biden-Harris war on a thing called American energy. American energy. We will drill, baby, drill. We're going to bring energy prices down.
What is that? Oh, drill, baby, drill. I thought they were kings. Kill somebody. Kill Adrian or something.
Thank you. And just so you know, they stopped it, and it was terrible what they did. That's what caused the whole problem in the country, even with supply chains. I mean, it just caused the problem. And then they said, oh, go back to the Trump plan now. Now they're drilling. But the day after the election, if they win this election, the drilling stops. They're only doing this for purposes of getting elected. They said, let's go back to what Trump was doing. But the prices are still way high. You see $5 a gallon now for gasoline, and much higher than that in some areas. And we will put ANWR back into service. You know, ANWR in Alaska, it could be the largest oil field in the world. It could be larger than Saudi Arabia. It could be larger than what Russia has. And Ronald Reagan tried to get it. Good man. He tried to get it, couldn't get it. Bush tried. Everybody tried to get it. I got it. And it was tough. And I got it at different times because they stop it on environmental. You know, they use the environment to stop everything, right? You know that. And we're all environmentalists. We want to see what's right. We want clean air. We want clean water. But we don't want to destroy our country. But they stopped it, and we got it going. We got it going. We got it going like never before. It was all set to go. And then think of this. The first week in office, they stopped it. They gave it back. They said, no, we're not going to do it. The greatest, not only great for Alaska, which is an incredible place and beautiful state. They wanted it so badly. Economic development for Alaska would have been so good. But worldwide, I mean, we would have been selling oil and gas all over the world, especially with Asia because of where it's located. So Asia, all over the world. And they stopped it. But we'll start it up again very, very soon. We're going to get it very quickly. We'll get it approved again very quickly. And your prices are going to come tumbling down. Your gasoline is going to come tumbling down, and your heating bills and cooling bills are going to be coming down. You have places like in New England. I don't know how they put up with it. You have the highest costs almost anywhere. Your costs for energy, for heat, for air conditioning are through the roof. And you know why? Because they don't want to put a pipeline through a section of New York that desperately wants it to happen, a very poor area. They won't do it. And until fairly recently, you know who used to deliver them the oil? Russia. Russia ships were pulling up to New England. How was that? Under Kamala's extreme high-cost energy policy known as net zero, you know what net zero, they have no idea what it means, by the way. It's net zero. What does that mean? Nobody knows. Ask her what it means. We're going to go to a net zero policy. What does that mean? I have no idea. She's attempting to abolish oil, coal, and natural gas. 84% of U.S. energy supplied. She wants it ended. Do you think that's going to lift your prices a little bit? Think of that. They're going to take away 84%. And the real stuff, that's the stuff that powers the plants. It's not wind that goes around and around. And, darling, let's watch the president's State of the Union speech tonight. I'm sorry, we won't be able to do it. The wind isn't blowing, darling. We have no electricity. We have no electricity, darling. We won't be able to watch tonight. But perhaps sometime during the week it will be blowing and we'll be able to get our television on it. Upon taking office, Harris and Biden shut down the Keystone XL pipeline. They issued orders to close dozens and dozens of existing power plants. And Kamala has vowed that if elected, she will absolutely ban fracking. She said, I'll ban fracking just recently. I'll ban fracking. There will be no fracking. That means that she can't win the state of Pennsylvania because Pennsylvania is all about fracking. That's their biggest industry. And you know what, Pennsylvania, I hope you're watching because that's what she says and that's what she'll do and that's what she'll go back to. She wants to ban fracking and she's wanted it for her entire career. And we're not going to let her destroy our country like that. We're not going to let her. If Harris gets in, energy prices will skyrocket far more than even in Europe. You know, Europe's a basic disaster because they've tended to go a little bit woke, but that's now changing. Have you been watching? That's changing. Inflation will surge into double digits in our own country, and your quality of life will absolutely collapse. Your quality of life is going to collapse under these lunatics. By contrast, she said it already has. Who said that, ma'am? Wow. You look healthy, though. You look very nice. You look very nice. By contrast, I'm announcing today that under my leadership, the United States will commit to the ambitious goal of slashing energy and electricity prices by half, at least half. We intend to slash prices by half within 12 months, at a maximum 18 months. And if it doesn't work out, you'll say, oh, well, I voted for him. I still got him down a lot, but we're looking to do it. We're looking to cut him in half, and we think we'll be able to do better. And every single thing that I promised, I produced. Every single thing. You will never have had energy so low as you will under a certain gentleman known as Donald J. Trump. Have you heard of him? So we think your energy bills will be down by 50 to 70%. How good would that be for a thing called inflation? How good will that be? You know, energy is such a big topic, such a big cost, so powerful, so big, that if you have a donut shop, you have the ovens, you have a truck that delivers the donuts, if you have whatever you do, your heating, your cooling, everything is about that. That's where they really blew it. They blew it with too much borrowing. They blew it with wasting $9 and $10 trillion on the scam, the great scam in history. There are a lot of scams that they worked on. Where's the laptop from hell? Is it around by any chance?
Oh, Biden.
But they did it by doing a lot of things. But with the energy, it's such a big topic. No matter what business you're in, you have to heat your business, cool your business. You need cars, trucks to get there and to take the product. It's so energy dominated. My administration will issue rapid approvals for new energy infrastructure, unlock new lands for drilling, and achieve energy independence and energy dominance. So we want energy dominance almost immediately. We were energy independent 4 years ago. Think of it. Today we're getting energy from Venezuela in the form of tar. We're getting it from Venezuela, tar. You ever see what it is to make oil out of tar? They have tar. They have a lot of tar. It's not good. You know where they make it? In Houston, Texas. It's the only plant in the world that can take this material and turn it into gasoline and oil. But no, it's tar, and they're doing very well. Speaking of that just for a second, so Venezuela crime is down 72% because they're taking all of their criminals out of Caracas, out of the different places. Their mental institutions are literally closing up. They're taking the people from mental institutions, people from prisons and jails, terrorists. They have terrorists all over the place. And you know where they're bringing them? Welcome to the United States of America. Murderers, drug dealers. And Venezuelan crime is down 72%, but that's only one. All over the world, crime is down because they're taking their criminals and their people from mental institutions and they're putting them into our country because we have stupid people like Kamala and Joe running our country, and there's never been anything like this. And if you look at New York today and you look at a couple of, remember I said migrant crime will be a big subject. I said that a year ago. Everyone said, oh, no, oh, he's so wrong. Do you see what's happening with migrant crime? They make our criminals look like nice people. They do. These are the toughest. These are the toughest people in the world, the toughest people. We built 571 miles of wall, as an example. They could have... And it's more than I said I was going to build, but then I was going to add 200 miles. We had it built, and they didn't put it up. Would have taken 3 weeks to erect. It was all there, ready to put up. Would have taken 3 weeks to put up. And that's when I said they actually want open borders. And Kamala wants open borders. And she said it for 15 years. She wants open borders. She only changed recently when she noticed in a poll that wasn't polling too well. People don't want open borders where people can flow into our country. To further combat inflation, I will terminate Kamala Harris's Green New Scam and rescind all of the unspent funds. Give all of the unspent funds back to building roads, bridges, and give it back to the government. And we won't, it's like throwing... What she did, what they did was like throwing billions of dollars out the window. We will stop wasteful spending and big government special interest giveaways and finally stand up for the American taxpayer, which hasn't happened since I was president. We stood up. We stood up. We stood up. I mean, prior to COVID coming in history, there's never been an economy like we had. Then when COVID came in, we rebuilt the military. We defeated ISIS. Everybody said it would take 10 years to defeat it. I did it in 8 months. We rebuilt that whole, we did so many things, and we created the greatest economy. I got a lot of credit on everything, including the economy. When COVID came in, we had to do certain things. We had to make certain moves. And if we didn't make those moves, Scott, and if we didn't help businesses survive for that little period of time, you would have had that 1929-style depression. That's what you would have had. We did a great job. Then when we handed it to them, the stock market was higher than it was previous to COVID coming in. Think of that. It was actually higher. And we handed them something that was a jewel. By the way, more people died from COVID in the Biden administration than the Trump administration, and he got it when it was ending all over the world. It was pretty much ending. So we never really got the credit we deserved for that with the ventilators and all of the different things that we did, the outfits, a lot of things. We were producing in New Hampshire and different places, masks. We had mask factories opening up. We had everything, and we did a good job. And then it came back, and it should have come roaring back, but they really blew it. They spent so much money. They didn't have to spend any more money. What they had to do is let our economy take over. But we had some great Republican governors that did a fantastic job. The Democrat governors, not so much. Out of the top 25, as an example, crime-ridden cities, virtually every single one of them is run by Democrats. Think of that. To make both new and used cars more affordable, I will end the Biden-Harris electric vehicle mandate on day one.
So
doesn't make sense.
What did that mandate do? It was going to force, but I forgot what year.
And by the way, there's a great place
cars?
for electric cars. They're going to do great. I think they're going to do great. And Elon's heard me say that many times. He still endorsed me. I mean, I wouldn't be able to change. It's a question of how far do they go and how much do they cost and all of the different things, factors. But electric cars have a great place in our country, but you have to be able to really get gasoline-powered cars, hybrids, many different types, diesel. You want diesel with trucks. You know, they want to make trucks all electric. Going to California, you have 6 stops. With diesel, you have no stops. That's hard to beat, right? If they're too heavy, common sense. We're the party of common sense. An electric truck weighs more than twice, 2.5 times what a gasoline-propelled truck weighs, right? That would mean you would have to rebuild every bridge and tunnel in the United States. Oh, that sounds reasonable. It would cost so much money. The United States doesn't have, every country together doesn't have what it would cost. But there's a great place for electric, but there's a place for everything, and you should be able to go out and buy what you want. You go out and buy what you want. To further reduce consumer prices, I will immediately eliminate every single costly job-killing regulation the Biden-Harris administration has created, and they've created a lot. Remember, I took out 12 for every one I created, and we ended up doing more than that. We got rid of so many regulations that were so unnecessary. Some of them were 100 years old. In my first term, our regulation cuts saved the typical American family $11,000. In my next term, the Trump dividend will be even larger. It'll be a dividend. By repealing the Biden-Harris regulatory onslaught, we can save an estimated $20,000. And you're talking about a tremendous amount, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a year just in savings. So to get to economic relief to workers and families, we will make additional tax cuts. That's what gave us the great economy. We'll make tax cuts additionally. We'll make them permanent because, you know, we have a thing where they want to terminate at the end of the period when they expire, the Trump tax cuts.
Oh, sorry.
5 years. They want to let them expire. That would mean your taxes would go up 4 times. You'll be paying 4 times much. And we will do something else which was copied, I mean, viciously, ruthlessly copied. No tax on tips, okay? No tax on
tips. I'm getting the copyright warning, but I don't know. Again, that doesn't make any much sense to me. Everybody's playing this clip in audio. It's like audio that belongs to someone else. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. They shouldn't be taking this down.
You know, if they wanted to do that, why didn't they do it 3.5 years ago? They didn't want to. It was actually the opposite. They hired 88,000 IRS agents to go after these people. So for every position the fake new Kamala takes down, and all of these positions, 3 weeks ago, the real Kamala said the exact opposite. The exact opposite. With me, you will always have a president who tells it like it is. You will always have somebody where I let you know where I stand, and you can vote for me or not, but you need that, and you need consistency, and you need brilliance. You need brilliance. She is not a brilliant person. She is not a smart person. She is not very smart. But it is crazy, isn't it, though? Isn't it crazy? She was so disrespected just a few weeks ago, and now it's like, Kamala, Kamala.
We love you, Kamala.
The fake news is a threat to our country. Don't kid yourself.
Kamala, we love you.
To help seniors on fixed incomes who are suffering the ravages of inflation, there will be no tax on Social Security. We're going to stop it. No tax on Social Security.
What?
This cruel double taxation of Social Security benefits, and this has been talked about for a long time. She'll probably announce this on Friday, too. Oh, look, they have a spy in the audience right over there. He's spying. Let's see, Kamala, I think we should do no tax on Social Security. But it only came into existence in 1984, and at that time, it only affected a very small number of recipients. But now, nearly half of all seniors are forced to pay income tax on Social Security, and thanks to inflation under Harris, she is horrible. This tax hits more seniors every year, more and more, and they can't make it. They're not making it. They're failing. You know, the people that did it right, they saved, they worked, they saved and saved. Those are the people that were hurt most by this kind of thinking and this economy. With your vote, I will end this injustice, and I will always protect Social Security and Medicare for our great seniors, just as I did for 4 incredible years. There was never any talk about doing anything. By contrast, Kamala Harris has a 3-step plan to destroy Medicare and to destroy Social Security. First, she has thrown open our borders. You know what that's going to do. They're all signing up. Oh, congratulations. They'll be all signing up right next to you. But she's opened up our borders. Think of it. Again, I believe it's 20 million people, but I think it's probably much more with the gotaways. And you know what a gotaway is, right? Remember, I had remain in Mexico policy. You think that was easy to get from Mexico? What I had to do to them. And I had remain in Mexico. They ended it immediately. They thought it was unfair to Mexico. Can you believe that? Mexico's it's like a railroad track coming into our country. They thought it was unfair. It's not unfair. But Mexico agreed to it, remain in Mexico, and they ended it very early. They ended it almost immediately. Second, she's flooding our country with millions and millions of low-wage migrants and giving them welfare, free health care, food stamps, public benefits. And third, she's giving them what our military vets don't get. They're sleeping on a street in freezing or very hot weather. And illegal immigrants that came in so illegally and don't speak a word of English are living in some of the most luxurious hotels in the world. It's incredible. You see that. You've been seeing the stories. They're living in hotels. They're taking, right, front row Joes. They're taking some of the best hotels because the government pays more than they can get from wealthy customers. So they say, well, I don't know about this. I think we'll take the illegal immigrant. We're going to get more money from the U.S. government than some rich guy coming in from Argentina. And third, she wants to make them all citizens, dumping them into Medicare and Social Security until those programs buckle and collapse. And that's what's going to happen. Under them, Social Security, Medicare, and other programs will collapse. No country can sustain what's happening right now. The millions of illegal aliens pouring into our country under a border, Azar, Harris, are coming from all sorts of places, from countries unknown, literally from countries unknown. And they, as I said, they're coming in from prisons and from mental institutions, and they're coming in as terrorists. We have more terrorists living in our country right now, and nothing good is going to happen from this. And now it's getting more and more violent. Just pick up the newspapers, turn on your television. People stabbed. A woman yesterday raped in New York, raped viciously. And when they said she was raped, you know what she said? They weren't trying to rape me. They were trying to kill me. They were trying to kill her. And he was a gentleman from a certain country I won't mention, happened to be in South America. But it's not South America. It's all over the world that they're coming in. It's not South America. They're coming from all over the world. Just this week in Coney Island, Kamala had 2, think of this one, migrants. They came in, we call them the Kamala migrants, and they were arrested for rape of a 46-year-old woman, and it was a rough situation. There were 4 or 5 other situations over the last couple of days. Rape and murder, rape and beating, rape and something else, and sometimes just immediate killing. These people are brutal. These are people that came out of the toughest jails anywhere in the world, from all over the world. And we can't take them. No country can sustain it. No country. Come on. They all said I was wrong when I said that migrant crime will reach epidemic proportions. And now it's much worse than that. It's a lot worse than epidemic proportions. It's beyond control. We have a new category of crime. It's called migrant crime. And I think it's going to end up being the worst category of all. These people are tough. They're tough. They're mean. They're angry. And they shouldn't be in our country. And it's not going to work out well. The migrants that Harris let in are raping our women and hurting our children, and now Kamala wants to let them pillage Social Security and Medicare. That's what's going to happen. It will never happen. It will never even get close to happening if I'm in office, and I think you're going to have to put me in office because there's never been anything like this. If Kamala wins, you will have mass amnesty and citizenship for all of the Biden-Harris illegals that poured into our country. If I win, you will have the largest deportation operation in American history, starting at noon on Inauguration Day 2025. And you know, I don't say that happily because it's not an easy situation with so many people. It's not sustainable. But Dwight Eisenhower, General Eisenhower, President Eisenhower, he was very strong on borders. He felt that you cannot do this. The largest deportation operation we ever had was under Dwight Eisenhower, president, and he understood that it was not sustainable to have millions of people coming in. But what he went through is peanuts compared to what we're going through. Nobody's ever gone, no country, no border has ever gone through what we're going through, and they're destroying our country. The Kamala migrant invasion is also a major factor in crushing your wages and driving up the cost of health care and the cost of all of your goods. Millions of uninsured illegal aliens are getting billions and billions of dollars in free health care paid for by American citizens on your medical bills. It's right on your medical bills. You know, when you hear this, you get angry because it shouldn't happen. But what happens to them, they come up in caravans. I think I came up with that name. But they have caravans of thousands and thousands of people, many, many criminals in those caravans. Very dangerous, unbelievably dangerous for women. The women in those caravans are just absolutely, it's horrible what happens. I'm not going to tell you now. It's horrible. It's horrible what happens in those caravans coming up. It's a rough journey. But they come up because we have very stupid people here that say, if you come up, we will give you health care, Social Security, medical, school. You know, our schools in a lot of places are not, you can't even go anymore. They've taken the place of our students. They have people sitting in chairs that don't speak a word of English, and they're taking the place of our young children. The hospitals, a person told me the other day from San Diego, they said they can't get into a hospital anymore. The hospitals are being occupied by the illegal aliens. Somebody's got to take care. They're being occupied. And the reason they're coming is because people like Gavin Newsom and people like Kamala are saying, come, come, it's the American dream, come. They're destroying our country. We can't do it. We can't let it continue. You're not going to have a country anymore. People like Scott, brilliant Wall Street people, they're right about what they say. And that's also common sense. I'll tell you, it's all about common sense. The Republican Party is the party of common sense. Kamala Harris wants to eliminate private health insurance. Does anybody have private health insurance here? A lot of people, yeah. A lot of people, they want it. That's what they want. They want to have the... Now, if you want to have other, you have other. But they want to take it and they want to turn it off. It doesn't cost our country anything. They want to turn it off. This is what people, they work hard. They make enough money. They want to have a private plan. It's a more luxurious plan. That's okay. But they want to give free taxpayer-funded health care to every single illegal alien in this country. Kamala wants to do that. Now, she'll probably... Here's a little bet we'll make. She'll probably change over the next short period of time. You know, we said, what do you do with some monsters that we have? Monsters, some of the worst killers in the world, in detention centers. You know, they're in detention centers that we have along the border. And you know what she said? They have to be released. Released. We're going to release. These are murderers. These are killers. These are drug dealers. These are the worst people on earth. You don't get much worse. She said, now she'll probably change her mind on that too, but she wants to release. This is, remember, I said it before, more liberal than crazy Bernie Sanders. He's crazy, you know.
Oh, shit.
And far more liberal than crazy Bernie. This is considered worse. And we're not going to have a president like that. Somebody was saying last night on television that when the people find out, the wonderful Sean Hannity actually said it. Have you ever heard of him? Yes. But he said it, but everyone's saying it. When people find out about her, that she's a very liberal person, you know, they use the word progressive. They don't use liberal anymore. They use progressive because it sounds so nice, progressive. What is progressive? That means forward thinking. It's not, it's the opposite. But she's the most liberal senator that we've had in 50, 60 years, I think probably ever, but far more liberal than Crazy Bernie. By contrast, I'm going to keep the Affordable Care Act unless we can do something much better. We'll keep it. It stinks. It's not good. If we can do something better, we're going to do something with it. If we can do better, meaning less expensive and better health care for you, less expensive and better health care for you, then we'll do it. We're not looking better for the government. We're looking better for you. She goes around saying, well, he's going to get rid of the health. No, I'm going to keep it unless we can come up with something that's better for you and less expensive for you. Otherwise, we're not doing it. And you saw that having to do with Social Security. For 4 years, I was there, and for 4 years, I never raised the age. They're going to end up raising your age by 5 years. I never raised your age. I never did anything. I left your plan the way it was. Never touched it. I was there 4 years. Same thing with Russia. They say, oh, he's going to go and, start a war or something. Well, you know what? For 4 years, Russia never went in to Ukraine. They waited till I got out, and then the army started to form. But, if you go back with Russia, Bush let them have a lot of land. You know that. Obama, President Barack Hussein Obama, have you heard of him? Barack Hussein Obama let them have a lot of land. Now you have Biden. He's letting them have the whole thing, okay? The whole thing. But you had President Trump. What did Putin take under Trump? Nothing. Nothing. Took nothing. He took nothing under Trump, but he took under Bush. He took under Obama. Big, big stuff. He took it in Ukraine, in and around Ukraine. But he took nothing under Trump. But now he's going for the big one, isn't he? Huh? We're going to deliver lower prices, lower drug costs, new options that will dramatically reduce the crushing burden of American patients. Kamala and Joe tried to take credit for $35 insulin. You know that. You know who did that? I did that. I did the insulin, and it kicked in. And I remember when I did it, it had to be a statute. It was a certain statute that took a certain period of time. I said, I hope I'm elected because somebody's going to get a lot of credit for doing what I got done. I got it done, $35 insulin, and now they take credit for it. It's terrible, terrible. They take credit for a lot of things they shouldn't be taking credit for. If they said, congratulations, you did a good job on insulin, that would be nice. Nobody's going to go crazy about that. Congratulations, because insulin was impossible for people to afford. They were dying. They didn't get it. The expense was, I got it for $35. Nobody thinks it's even possible. But they could say you did a great job, thank you very much. Or you did a good job. But instead, they say, we brought insulin in at $35. It's a lie. Kamala is fighting for health care for illegal aliens and fighting for health care and think of this, he's fighting for health care for people that are destroying our country. I'm fighting for health care for the American people, the people that are supposed to have the health care.
That's pretty wild.
The colossal influx of migrants into our cities is driving rent absolutely through the roof. That's why, and who's paying the rent? The government. Our government is paying rent. We're paying numbers that were not obtainable. In fact, if I ever went back into business, I'd buy some buildings in certain areas and I'll charge the government the highest rents you've ever seen. That's what they're doing. Some very smart landlords are getting a lot of money. That's why some of the luxury hotels are going into migrants. They can make much more money renting to a migrant than to wealthy people. But that's why, as president, I will seal the border. I will send them all back to their countries where they belong. Prices will come down and come down dramatically and come down fast.
Joe.
To further address the housing affordability crisis, we will work with states like Nevada, a great state. We're leading big in the poll there, by the way. Thank you very much. Good governor. To open up large tracts of federal land for housing constructions and similar to opportunity zones that I did with Senator Tim Scott, a great guy from South Carolina, senator from South Carolina. Came in, he said, I have this idea. He's had it for a long time, but he could never get a president to execute it. I did. And opportunity zones, one of the greatest one of the greatest things that we've done in terms of economic development. I give Tim Scott a lot of credit for that, too. These areas will have low taxes, low regulation to stimulate rapid economic growth, maximum affordability, and the return of a thing called, which I always come back to, the American dream, because we've lost the American dream. We will bring back our supply chains. You know, supply chains were basically not even talked. It was automatic. You have a thing, it's delivered from here to here. When this lunatic became president, with her, remember, she was there at every step of the way, but she was like silent because she was, I don't know, nobody respected her until she was the only choice left. They couldn't get anybody else. Did you see where they had the 12 most likely people to be chosen after Biden? And she was ranked number last, and she was the one that was picking. She was ranked. She was ranked below Tim. He was second, I think, second to last. We will bring back our supply chain. We're going to bring back our supply chains. We're going to bring them back from China and other foreign countries, ending costly supply chains. Those are supply chain disruptions. We're going to bring them back. We're going to bring them back fast as we reduce burdens on domestic manufacturers. American workers will make our critical goods better and cheaper. We're going to make them in our country, right here in the USA, right here in a place called North Carolina. Have you heard of it? Have you heard of it?
Excellent tips.
We're going to have 10 to 20% tariffs on foreign countries that have been ripping us off for years. We're going to charge them 10 to 20% to come in and take advantage of our country, because that's what they've been doing for nothing, to take our jobs. We're going to charge them and bring back millions and millions of jobs by doing so, and billions of dollars. I did that with China. I took in hundreds of billions of dollars with China. Nobody ever took in 10 cents from China, and it slowed them down, and it made us much better. In fact, Biden's been unable to take those tariffs off China because it's so much money coming in, they don't know what to do. How do you replace it? Our current, he's on the take. Yeah, you're right. Do you come from North Carolina, sir? Where is the guy that said that? He's on the take. It's pretty good. I would say,
yeah, they're turned up, man.
Right. He is
North
right.
Carolina's turned up.
Our current massive deficits will be reduced to practically nothing. Our country will be powered by growth. Our country will be powered by growth. We'll pay off our debt. We'll have all this income coming in. If people want to take advantage of our country, they have to pay to take advantage of our country. I will also restore peace through strength, and with the return of global stability will come the return of economic stability. We're going to have economic stability. You know, we have wars breaking out all over the world, and they asked the head of the Prime Minister of Hungary, very tough man, strong man, very, you know, somebody that I always got along. I get along with the strong ones. I don't get along with the weak ones. Isn't that sad? That's a personality defect. No, the tough ones, but the tough ones are the ones we have to worry about, right? That's a good thing. But Viktor Orban of Hungary. So they asked him, what do we do? Wars are breaking out all over the world. He said, the answer is very simple. Make sure that Trump gets reelected president, and you're not going to have any more wars. You're not going to have any more problems. They respected him. They respected Trump. They respected Trump. He actually used a different word. I would not use that word, but he can. He said they were afraid of Trump, because I had no idea where the hell I was coming from. With Joe, it's sort of easy to tell, isn't it? Yeah. The whole thing is crazy. You know what we're going through? It's crazy. They arrest their political opponent. They go after their political... The whole place is... Our country is like a different place. No more wars, no more disruptions. We will have prosperity, and we will have peace. And this is how we will end the era of inflation, mayhem, and misery under Kamala and Crooked Joe, and unleash economic abundance for Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. Together, we will deliver low taxes, low regulations, low energy costs, low interest rates, low inflation, so that everyone can afford groceries, a car, and a home. Common sense. We will stop the invasion, end the migrant crime, support our great police, save Medicare, and save Social Security, which is under siege. We will strengthen our military, build a missile defense shield, keep critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools, and keep men out of women's sports. We will defend the Second Amendment, restore free speech, and we will secure our elections. Everyone will prosper, every family will thrive, and every day will be filled with opportunity, hope, and joy. But for that to happen, we must never let Kamala Harris get anywhere near the White House, and we must defeat her country-destroying liberal agenda. She destroyed San Francisco. She's not going to destroy our country. So get your friends, get your family, register, volunteer, and get the hell out and vote. You got to vote. On November 5th, we will save our economy. We will rescue our middle class. We will put America first, and we will make America great again. Thank you very much. North Carolina, God bless you. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. They not like us. They not like us.
Oh. Wow. All right, so again, pushing no tax on tips, and now, I don't know if he said this before, but no tax on Social Security. I didn't even realize that. I never thought about that. These people get taxed. They should be getting taxed still after zero Social Security. What? It's a scam. Now, let's talk about just a few things. They're saying supposedly this was Kamala Harris admits to massive online misinformation scheme. What? There's a news. This is, I guess, Fox.
Axios reporting the campaign is giving real news articles a pro-Kamala Harris spin and then using them in Google ads. Martha McCallum's been looking at this, and she joins us now. Good morning to you. Welcome back.
Good morning,
nice
Bill.
to see you.
Great to see you.
Get ready for Chicago, all right?
Here we go.
Save that for a moment here. So the trick was we'll make it like an ad. And we'll reframe the headline so that when you're searching, maybe you see the spot and you read the headline, but maybe you don't understand that it's actually sponsored by the campaign. Show it, guys. Here we go. So this involved what? They cited CNN, NPR.
I guess they can say anything during those ad stuff. They can kind of say whatever, right? Not have to really be the truth.
Reuters, Associated Press, The Guardian, a lot. And you would see this as you were going through your internet search. And well, that's cheap.
Look at that.
It is. You know, this is really, and I should also point out that Google says that there was a glitch in their system that meant that some of the sort of barriers that they try to put in to make it clear what this is weren't working. Oops. I wonder if it was true for other campaigns as well. We don't know that yet, but they say they're looking into that. But just as an example, so this is a Guardian headline.
Holding another news conference, 4:30 East. Are you talking about maybe tomorrow, Chiefs? It's already past. It's almost 5:30 here now. I'll try and find out if anybody knows any information on that.
VP Harris fights abortion bans. Harris defends reproductive freedom. Well, those things are true. That's a factual statement. That's something that she backs and supports. But then they have a description under the headline. So you know how there's a headline when you read a news story. Then there's Yeah,
there's an article that came out an hour ago. Trump to hold another press conference as campaign criticizes Harris for limited media availability. Thursday. At his Bedminster golf course. Okay. I wonder what the real time is then. Because it's 5:30 now. It's about to be 5:30. I'm curious. Maybe it's on his page. Look up his YouTube page.
Under headline that you read in the news story. But it says this: VP Harris is a champion for reproductive freedom and will stop Trump's abortion bans. So the second line in what looks like a news story is actually a campaign slogan, a campaign statement. And, we all look at so much information, take in so many things so quickly throughout the day, right? This is very subtle, very manipulative. And in a moment when you also have a stepped up threat from Iran trying to get their bots into all of this and influence people in ways that are very subtle and difficult to figure out, this is something that I think requires a lot of diligence on the part of people who are looking for this information.
And Google says it's just what? They got one by the goalie?
Yeah, Google says, well, there was a glitch. There's supposed to be more disclosure that this is an ad, a campaign ad, and they're going to work on that.
Okay. I'm trying to find out about that press conference. Okay, 31 minutes ago. Let me see. This is CNN updates. Trump says he will terminate the Green New Deal if elected. Beautiful. Waltz agreed to a presidential debate. Oh, okay. So October 1st is Waltz versus J.D. Vance. Okay. Does it say a time here? They're saying it's going to be on CBS October 1st. Okay, so I don't know what time yet. We'll figure it out. Maybe there's not a time yet. It's Wednesday. It's tomorrow. Okay, so press conference tomorrow for Trump? Okay. Oh, that's perfect then. Okay, it's Wednesday, Mel, not till tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Oh, no, tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, I'm tripping. Okay, you guys got me. I'm tripping. Okay, so tomorrow. Trump press conference. Okay. All right. And I think he has an event coming up too. Let me see what's the next event. Is it tomorrow too, or is it Saturday? Donald Trump event. I have something that I want to cover on the main channel too, but I honestly think it's better to do it tomorrow. Maybe a little earlier in the day. Sky could schedule tonight for tomorrow. Okay, so Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern, he has another rally. Pennsylvania, also going back. Going back to Cali. Trump. Okay, 4 p.m. East. Tomorrow, press conference, I don't know what time yet. I don't know. Your ad goes here. There's a few things too. Wow. Wait, somebody posted, I have a friend who is down in Mexico and crosses the border often. He is telling me that there's over 300,000 Venezuelans have arrived today in Tijuana alone. Check this out. When he went to cross the U.S. border, this is what he told me. They didn't even bother to ask my identity document or passport. They were just waving everyone on. Wow. They know, so it's a free season right now. Especially if Trump gets in, they're getting kicked out, so they're all taking advantage now. Everybody's coming in. Oh, 4:30 tomorrow? Okay. Perfect. I wrote it on the wrong day, too. Trump presser. $4:30 East. I think it's probably going to be fire, too. Those press conferences, the last time I think he was going off at Mar-a-Lago, He's supposed to be doing it somewhere else different this time. 4:30 p.m. East. Okay. You said muted? No, I shouldn't be muted. Unless they block my audio, but I can see my sound waves right now. So, oh, there's another one. Somebody, Dom said Joe Biden has went completely unhinged on reporters because the media hasn't been supporting him like they usually do. Let's check it out. See, check out this clip.
Mr. President. Yes, yes, yes. I told you we're going to have a soft landing. We're going to have a soft landing. My policies are working. Start writing that way, okay? And Mr. President, anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, okay. Maybe he was feeling himself a little pissed. The skin looks like rejuvenated too. I don't know what it did with the skincare. What he's drinking, medication, lotions, oils.
Mr. President. Yes, yes, yes. I told you we're going to have a soft landing. We're going to have a soft landing. My policies are working. Start writing that way, okay? And Mr. President, anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
See how a little spunk in him. You said, is the economy inflationary? Has the U.S. beat inflation? I don't think it has. I don't know how these people are saying that, like, it's down or there's no inflation or it's like it hasn't gone up. Anybody that has to go to groceries, pays rent, like just regular shit that you see every day. You see yourself in your eyes. It comes out of your bank account. They want to tell you, no, it's fine. No, it's okay. No, that's not happening. And you know what? We're going to make it better. Bro, come on. That's crazy. When people lie to you, it's coming out of my bank account all the time. You're not shopping for me. I'm shopping for myself. Most of these people buying them, all those motherfuckers, they ain't paying for no groceries. There's somebody out there that's just picking this stuff up for them. They just find it in their fridge. They got all these cooks and stuff. I don't know how anybody could. No, it's fine.
When I start talking,
here's Eminem on Trump. Apparently,
talking about Trump, I get too flustered in my head, and
this was so disappointing. I haven't seen this part, but just his whole take on everything.
The shit that I want to say, there's too many things I want to say at once. So sometimes I start talking and I'm not able to convey the message the right way because I just...
All the things you say you dislike about him, at least once in your life you were. Remember all those songs you made? Crazy killing your wife and whatever with your kids and all this shit all the time, 24/7. I love his music, but bro, you used to talk all this shit.
Just get flustered and frustrated watching him play to his base that thinks that he cares about them, and it's actually the people that he cares about the fucking least. If you're talking about his core being, a majority white middle class, what I don't understand is how in the fuck do you feel like you relate?
Yeah, look, he's angry too. Holy shit. Yo, he is pissed. He said, I think there's one of those people too that kind of fall under the Trump derangement thing. Because I've seen him before try to express himself about this, and he's just like really, really like to his core. I don't know why. I don't know if maybe he feels guilty or something for being white.
To a billionaire who has never known struggle his entire fucking life. I will say this, he talks a good one. And if you're in his base, you're a core, let's say you're going to the rallies or whatever, you watch him on TV, you hear him talking this shit. There's part of me that understands, like, all right, he's somehow still got them because he's brainwashing them into thinking that something great is going to happen. Nothing's happening. Nothing is happening. I don't know, man.
And you should apply that same thing too to these politicians that have been in office, just like Kamala right now and Biden. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening.
I get really flustered.
Shady. Anyway, that's Eminem's thoughts. That's M's thoughts. I posted something on Twitter. I don't even think I can show this. I was so disturbed by this. That's why I feel like I like Twitter, but it's almost to the point of TikTok where you shouldn't have kids on there. Your kids should not be on Twitter. I mean, I don't know if maybe they get to teenager, because you're going to run into all kinds of adult content, right? This is not like bad, but this is just weird. This lady's like humping a goose, and I wonder where all the animal activists are at, and all these people like, what happened? Like, why is this here? But she's humping this thing.
Oh my God! What the fuck is this? Seriously.
It's just weird. And while this is happening, there's some kid just staring there. I don't know whose kid that is, but if it was my kid, I would grab my kid, turn their face around. What the hell? You know, I don't know. Or maybe they're just in shock. I don't know. Bro, careful on Twitter, man. Twitter's just, gosh. Oh, there's something else. I feel like I'm going to tell you not to look this up, but you're probably going to look it up. So I almost don't even think I should say it, but there's something trending. I was scrolling again. All you have to do is scroll, and this, you know, and things pop up, and they're talking about this person. Let me see the name here. James Charles. This person's like a huge, I think they still have YouTube. Huge YouTuber. They're into makeup and beauty. And, you know, he's a gay guy. And supposedly a video leaked of him getting in the middle of relations with another guy or something. Thankfully, it's kind of censored. See, if you scroll by it, you can scroll past it. But I'm like, oh my God. I think there's people leak their own shit too. Just like Drake. Oh, it just got leaked out. But want to flex. Accused suitcase killer Sarah Boone complained she was unprepared due to the lack of access to the internet. Oh, there was a hearing today.
Property including, but
I mean, I guess we could do that. Was that today? Did that happen today? There was a Sarah Boone hearing today? I don't know if those things are lit or boring. Sarah Boone hearing. They're still live. Oh, this is a premiere. So is this old? Sometimes I feel like what's going on with that courtroom, I think they allowed the media to record, but I don't think they're allowed to record live. I mean, I think I've seen one live thing one or twice, but after that, it's like, it seems like they just posted after. Sarah Boone. Yeah, it looks like it must be an old thing. Yeah, Twitter, man, just be careful. Your kids want to get on there. That's one of those places. Oh, man. Famous Amos. That's how you say his name. I used to love those cookies, chocolate chips. Passed away at 88. He's the creator's name is Wally Amos. Wonder how he passed away. According to Cookie King, passed away in his home, in Honolulu, Hawaii. He was suffering complications from dementia. That's horrible, man. Shitty way to especially for family and stuff. Wally became prominent name in the food and world after he turned a $25K loan into the famous Amos Cookies empire. Wow, imagine that, right? Changing your whole life around. Shook up the baked goods game by using the recipe from his aunt, which included real ingredients. I didn't know that. No chemicals added or coloring. Anyway, rest in peace. Rest in peace. Let me see what else we got going on. I'm hoping we get some chase today. Some chases would be nice. I need to get my ass back on the main channel. I was thinking either the neighbor, not watching the whole trial, but like the neighbor that killed a woman in front of her kids. I think it was in front of her kids or close to her kids. They released the interrogation. I thought we could maybe watch the interrogation. I don't know if today's the best day though, because I want to do some stuff with Maddie, but for sure goes to her mama's. This is a quick clip too that I saw. I wanted to check out Bernie Sanders and how the Democratic establishment took him out of the presidential race.
You know, I ran in 16. I ran against Hillary Clinton, and I ran in 20.
Yeah, I remember, and I felt like you didn't get treated fairly, to be honest with you.
And that's what happens when you take on the establishment. So
Yeah.
what happened is we won the first 3 primaries, and then the establishment got very, very nervous, and there were a whole lot of candidates in the Democratic primary, and they said, hey, be a good idea if you all dropped out, let Joe Biden be the one candidate. People rallied around him.
And do they call? Is there a call that you get, and it's like you're not going to move forward? Is it just like news articles? Like how does the establishment?
Well, what happens is I won the popular vote in Iowa. I won the New Hampshire primary. I won the Nevada primary, and those were the first three. And then front pages of the New York Times, Democratic establishment very nervous. Bernie Sanders could win the whole. We were doing very well in the polls, and I think behind the scenes, people thought there were like 15 different candidates. And they were splitting up the vote, and that's how I was not necessarily getting over 50%. I was getting more than other people, so I was on the way to victory. And they said, look, Bernie shouldn't be the candidate for a variety of reasons. We don't want him the candidate, drop out. And then on one day, one or 2 days, a lot of people dropped out. It was Joe Biden and me, and Joe had a lot of support, and all these people came behind him.
And do you think that our election process is still democratic? Do you think it's
still... Thank you, Chef Lady.
Yes and no. I mean, you want to run for office. Can you? Yeah, you can. You got a certain number of signatures. But if you're going to win, and I have 10 times more money than you do, I will beat you 95% of the time.
Wow. Yeah, it's a money game. That's crazy, huh? I mean, I guess a lot of people know that, but to hear Bernie, I always felt like, they did Bernie dirty. They did him dirty. Just like Tulsi Gabbard, I think they did her dirty, too. I like Tulsi a lot. And I feel like they cheated her out of that shit. And they were messing with her Google search too, kind of like with this recent stuff,
I mean, that's a fact, right?
Right, yeah, 100%.
You'll beat me. Maybe if you're really an exceptional candidate and I'm a real idiot, you will beat me once in a while. But by and large, the money people will win. So if you're asking me, are we a democracy? In one sense, we are. All right, you can run for office. You can raise your issues. On the other hand, in terms of who has the real power, money people do. And I use the term oligarchy. An oligarchy is a society where small numbers of very wealthy people control the economic and political life of the country. I think we are moving rapidly in that direction.
Yeah, I feel like to me, it feels like almost privatized communism in a way.
Right. That's a very good point. It's an interesting way of looking at it.
Privatized communism. Mel, Tornado needs a link. Oh yeah, I forgot that doesn't work with this channel. Oh, I forgot. Okay, let me 1 second. I made a command, but the bot was off this whole time. Okay, the command should be, I think it's just politics. Let me see. So, I don't know, the goal is I want to kind of mix everything. I mean, I should be able to do the politics and the main channel, and then whenever the chases happen, they happen. Lately, they really haven't been happening. So we'll see. We'll start kicking back up. I really thought I had more, like a bunch of stuff for September, but not really. I think a couple of things fell through. Nick Rekieta's the 20th. Alex Treviso, there was supposed to be a pretrial hearing. That got pushed back or canceled for now. And then the trial was supposed to start, I thought August 26th, but it looks like everything's getting delayed. Alexi Treviso. Trial canceled after alleged, what? After judge tosses alleged confession that she gave birth to baby. Okay, so they're not heading to the trial later this month as initially planned. So that kind of fell off too. I was actually planning on covering that, but a trial date of August 26th has been set in the case, but a case information sheet obtained shows that the trial and date and August 6th pretrial hearing have both been canceled. The case has been vacated at this time. What? The decision by prosecutors to not move forward with the case at this time comes after the judge ruled that all comments allegedly made by Treviso in the presence of hospital staff, as well as video footage of her taken inside the medical facility, would not be admissible during her trial, and a pair of court orders filed May 13 and June 30. Wow. What? So then maybe that's it. That's the lady that supposedly threw her baby in a trash can at the hospital. Wow. So a lot of things kind of fell through. So that's all right. We'll figure out some other stuff. Oh, I did the wrong thing. That's the sub to the political channel. Oh, God. Let's see. That child killer, too. Could do that, too, in the main channel. The child killer still on the run, day 2. This channel is doing pretty good. It's doing pretty decent. I was looking at the numbers. We just need some more chases and stuff. And I got to work on the background. Background emoji still. Membership. Okay, here's the link. I need to make a command. I thought about that too, Deborah. You should sneak a peek into the Vegas trial about Robert Tellis. I saw that. He's a politician, former politician who killed the journalist. And he's nuts, super arrogant, neurotic, narcissistic. I think today was day 1. I was thinking that, like I said, with the lady, the neighbor, I could do opening statements, body cam. And I don't know, maybe that's it. And then we should check out Robert Tellis' opening statements. Admin area, let me do that. I need to make a command too. Rally. Okay, let me drop, see if I can make a command. Yeah. Oh, I did make a command. It's politics member. I made a command and I didn't tell anybody. A couple other things. There's a lot of this monkeypox talk, and now I think it's declared some type of emergency. Monkeypox. It's gonna be the next big thing. It says the World Health Organization declares monkeypox a global health emergency. 82 days before the election. Lord Almighty.
Today, the emergency committee met and advised me that, in its view, the situation constitutes a public health emergency of international concern. I have accepted that advice. The detection and rapid spread of a new clade of Mpox in eastern DRC, its detection in neighboring
Deborah, thank you. They picked jurors today. Okay.
Countries that had not previously reported Mpox, and the potential for further spread within Africa and beyond is very worrying. In addition to other outbreaks of other clades of Mpox in other parts of Africa, it's clear that a coordinated international response is essential to stop these outbreaks and save lives.
So what do they want us to do?
It's clear that a coordinated international response is essential to stop these outbreaks and save lives.
So just cut off all the flights from over there until they figure it out. Here we go again, right? Thank you, Wilson, for sending me this. I meant to mention this and I forgot about it. Let me get the big screen. So law enforcement has identified a suspect and issued... I lost it. Issued a warrant for burglary in connection with the break-in at the Trump campaign headquarters. And by the way, he was hacked recently too, they said. The Loudoun County Sheriff's Office has secured a warrant for the arrest of 39-year-old Toby Shane Kessler on charges of burglary in connection with a break-in at the Trump for President 2024 campaign office. The incident occurred on Sunday, August 11th in Ashburn, Virginia. Officials stated that the office, which is leased by former President Donald Trump's presidential campaign, also serves as the headquarters of the Virginia 10th District Republican Committee. The burglary took place at approximately 8:11 p.m. and was captured on surveillance video inside the office. Damn, he looked kind of crazed too. Oh boy. Woo! Yeah, something about the eyes, man. Those eyes scream MK Ultra. Look strung out. Oh God. What is that? Should know better than to scroll Twitter. Oh yeah, so Mona says stop sleeping with strangers. Monkeypox, is that how it's transmitted sexually? STD? Monkeypox transmission. Transmitted through close contact with an infected person or animal by touching contaminated materials. Is that all it takes? Just touch? The virus can enter through the body through skin wounds. Okay, so you have to have some type of cut or something. It says or mucous membranes. Maybe can you inhale it? Or get it through your nose. Close contact being face to face, skin to skin, mouth to mouth, or mouth to skin with an infected person. This can include talking, breathing, kissing, or relations. We'll just say that. Contact with a person's lesions, scabs, semen, saliva, or blood. Contact with respiratory particles from coughing, sneezing, talking, or breathing. Sounds bad. Monkeypox. Remember Dave Chappelle said something about monkeypox one day. Monkeypox. They censored this shit.
Is rated.
Who the fuck knows? Scientists don't even know. Scientists still say AIDS started because somebody had sex with a monkey. Word. After all this research, this is the best explanation that you came up with, mother. Nobody fucks monkeys and people, you idiot. You either fuck monkeys or you fuck people. That's it. There's no in between. You're not gonna get some monkey pussy on Tuesday and then be like, oh, let me call Charlene on Thursday. No. Once you fuck a monkey, that's a firm decision. I'm out of the human pussy game for good. It's ridiculous. You act like monkeys are just as open as waiting for people to fuck them, man. It's ridiculous. The monkeys don't want to be fucked by people. Think about it. Think how hard it would be to catch a monkey and fuck it. That's ridiculous. That's how it had to go down. Who you think you're just gonna walk up to him in the woods and brab this nigga with fruits and bananas? Hey, buddy. Hey. Yeah. There you go, buddy. Yeah. Yeah. Here you go, your big bright red ass. Big bright red booty. You know how strong a monkey is? Would rip your dick off like the celery stalk. Throw that shit in the tall grass to never be seen again. Hey dog, we gonna go to the club, pick up some girls. You trying to roll? Nah man, I'm cool. I'ma stay home, dog. Chill with my monkey. You know how long it took me to train this monkey to suck my dick without peeling it? Last night, Chim Chim jerked me off with his feet.
All right. It's a lot. It gets a little blah, I guess. There's people that do eat monkey, though. They call it, what do they call it? Bushmeat. So bushmeat, I think you can get some diseases from that. Bushmeat is the term for meat from wild animals that are hunted or trapped in the food trade. Animals including mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians. Some examples of bushmeat include monkeys, pangolins, snakes, porcupines, antelopes, elephants, giraffes, bats. Yeah, bats are kind of can contain stuff. Bats. Bushmeat hunting can drive a global crisis that threatens the extinction of many terrestrial mammal species. This is especially true for developing countries. Bushmeat. Chim Chim. Oh, yeah, I remember the Tupac thing, too. That was hilarious.
Oh!
No!
What are you doing?
You do not!
Hey!
You do not!
What are you...
Oh, my God. What the hell is this? Hold on. Is this real?
Oh.
No.
What are you doing?
You do not.
Hey.
You do not.
What are you doing? What?
You do not take pictures of me.
Look what you're doing.
Right. Look what you're doing, kid.
What?
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
No.
Well, where's the rest of this video? About to toss his ass out with one hand. Oh shit, one arm. Oh no. They're saying that the Lord of the Rings actor Sean Astin announced with a passion that he'll be joining Kamala Harris and Tim Walz on the road for their campaign. He was also seen in White Dudes for Harris Zoom call. Oh.
Hey everybody, good morning. Here I am in downtown Chicago at the corner of East Grand and West Grand. And I just decided that I need to get out and start campaigning for Kamala Harris for president. I got back from overseas yesterday and I was gonna head home and be with my beautiful wife and my gorgeous children. And then I remembered.
Crazy. I still see these people as kids. Let's get over it. It's been so long. It just doesn't register with me. He's that little kid from the movie or whatever. I was never really into Lord of the Rings. I watched, I think, 1 or 2. I don't know. And the other one, Harry Potter. I never got really too much into those, but I know those were huge. I think I saw 1.
That I fashioned myself some sort of a leader, at least in my own mind. And the only kind of leadership that means anything anymore is leadership by example. So I'm going to head over to Indiana, my old stomping ground, where Christine, my wife, where she's from and where I've spent so much time. And did you know that it shares a border with Michigan? Interesting. Stay tuned.
All right. Well, there you go. He endorsed Kamala. Kamala. Dr. Disrespect. What are you doing, man? Say he's on vacation. Wow. I remember when I used to talk about. I talked about him very, very little, but I remember back then people were really angry but I didn't really say much, but I mentioned it or something. People lost their minds. But anyway, Colin Kaepernick. I guess he was offered a coaching position with the team, the NFL Los Angeles Chargers. All right. Is this real? Some of these clips. San Diego woman catches her boyfriend cheating and frames his messages before delivering it to him as a gift. All right, let's see. Oh. I guess I can't play the song.
You don't have anything to say?
Yeah, I'm recording it.
Well, it's now or never, because we're fucking done.
First time I met him was July 2nd when he picked up my friends and I from the club because his friend got into a fight. Nothing happened that night, though. He just took 2 of my friends to Jack in the Box, hung out with him and his friend and my friend July 4th, and we kissed. And then we hooked up a couple times after. Oh, shit. I guess she reached out to the girl. Oh. My favorite animal is me when I found out my boyfriend of almost 3 years is cheating on me. Damn. That's how it is these days. These kids recording everything. Watch it being recorded, set up. Thank you for the subscriptions. Appreciate it for people that subscribe. Tornado Grammy, thank you so much for the membership. Appreciate that. Come on, come on, come on. Oh man, I don't even know if I should play this. Oh. TikTok's dangerous. The scary thing about cancer is I saw something the other day. I mean, there's a lot of scary things, I guess, but I saw something the other day that they said that it's going to increase, and in men specifically. Let me see, cancer increase in men by, I forgot what year this said. A study project shows that overall cancer cases among men will increase from 10.3 million in 2022 to 19 million in 2050. An increase of 84%. Cancer deaths were projected to rise from 5.4 million in 2022 to 10.5 million in 2050. Wow. Wow. A doctor speaking up about the surge in cancer cases among young people, revealing every new patient that comes in his clinic is under 45 years old. I got to tell you, something in the food, something in the medication, something they're giving all of us, some type of whatever. Nearly 75% of food consumed in the U.S. is considered ultra-processed and teeming with additives and potentially harmful ingredients. Damn. You got a keychain with Brady Mittens? I actually like that idea. That Brady Mittens thing is hilarious to me. It's funny. Yeah, this cancer thing is scary, man. I don't know. I don't know what to... Shit. Cancer cases in men projected to increase.
A new study out in the journal Cancer predicting a rise in cancer cases and deaths among men by 2050, with new cases expected to go up from just over 10 million to 19 million worldwide, and global deaths expected to rise 93%.
There are some reasons that scientists look to. Number one, biological reasons. Also, men are more likely to engage in high-risk behaviors.
What does that mean? High-risk behavior.
For example, smoking, alcohol, and there's also an occupational exposure. Men are more likely to be factory workers and be exposed to toxins.
Experts say they also may be less likely to access health care, and there are fewer...
All those shits have been around forever. I want to know what's causing the increase. Alcohol and smoking.
Experts say they also may be less likely to access health care, and there are fewer screening options specific for men. The risk is highest for men living in developing countries and of older age.
What we see is that in older men and the aging population, the risk is even higher. We're talking about higher than 100% increase when you look at the year 2050.
Experts say early detection is key. That means getting screened regularly for colorectal cancer at age 45 and consider beginning prostate cancer screening at 50 years old.
I use average patient age or average risk for a patient. If you have a higher risk, for example, if you have a family history, or for black men, you should start having these discussions earlier. It's a sign of strength and intelligence.
Researchers say back in 2020, global cancer rates in men were already 43% higher than in women. The gap only expected to widen in the coming decades.
Wow. Monkey sex. Men's balls full of plastics now. You guys might want to consider just keeping an eye on your stuff as far as like credit or whatever. They're saying there was this massive leak. Lily sent me this, and it's a long read. Oh, the one of the apps I was thinking about is called LifeLock. I might consider getting something. I don't know. I mean, I have Credit Karma, and honestly, when things get run on my credit stuff, it does tell me. But I think I feel like LifeLock, they offer you some type of like guarantee, security. They'll pay you back, or I don't know what they'll do. They fix things, or I have to see. But yeah, about a couple months ago, a notorious hacking group claimed to have stolen an extraordinary amount of sensitive personal information from a major data broker. All these people keep your information, sell it, all that stuff. The breach, which includes social security numbers and other sensitive data, could power a raft of identity theft, fraud, and other crimes. So apparently they're trying to they were trying to sell it online. According to a class action lawsuit filed by the U.S. District Attorney in Fort Lauderdale, the hacking group USDOD claimed in April to have stolen personal records of 2.9 billion people from the National Public Data, which offers personal information to employers, private investigators, staffing agencies, and others doing background checks. The group offered in a form for hackers to sell the data, which included records from the United States, Canada, and the UK for $3.5 million. Lots and lots of money. So the information consists of 2.5 billion records, which includes person's full name, address, date of birth, social security number, and phone number, along with alternate names and birth dates. So this is what they're claiming to have, which is a lot. It's a lot. People can start opening credit cards, or they'll know where you live, or I don't know, they can start doing all kinds of stuff, selling your information. Of course, the National Public Data didn't respond for a request. We're aware of a certain third-party claim. In an email, the company also said that it had purged their entire database. I wonder what company. Did they say what company? What to say the company? Oh yeah, the National Public Data. As a result, it said it had deleted any non-public personal information about people, although it added we may be required to retain certain records to comply with legal obligations. So a couple of cybersecurity companies, I guess, they looked at portions of the data. Felice, which is one of the hackers, I guess, or at least the name they go by, so that they appear to be real, people's actual information. If the leaked material is what it claimed to be, here are some of the risks posed for people and the steps you can take. So identity theft, these people can make accounts. They can actually, this is a good point, they could call into your bank account and pretend to be you. Here's my social, I lost my password or whatever. Here's my social security card. Insurance companies and service providers seek when creating accounts. And let's see what this says. And when granting a request to change the password or existing account. One of the things that I think maybe here in the article they said, I know some bank accounts, they let you set up a password. Like it's not even like your online banking. You can set up a digital code. I have that one in my banks. Also, they say you should probably use two-factor authentication, which I use for mostly everything. It does say that a few pieces of information that seem to be missing. One is email addresses, which many people use to log into services. Another is driver license or passport photos, which some governmental agencies rely on. And but yeah, they could do a lot of stuff with that information. It's also possible that criminals could use information from previous data breaches to add email addresses to the data from the reported National Public Data Leak. Yeah, I mean, you can do all kinds of shit. So, if your Social Security, if you think it's compromised, you need to freeze your credit files. I guess you can call them and contact them. And the other thing is there's services that monitor your accounts. Password manager apps offer a simple way to create and keep track of all passwords by storing them in a cloud, essentially requiring you to remember one master password instead of dozens. That could be a potential thing. There's also people that there's something called SIM swap. And I think people can pretend that they have your phone, and so when they need a special code to get into your app or whatever, they'll get it on their phone. So there's things you can do for that. They say that Verizon has something called automatically block SIM swipes. T-Mobile offers protection options, and AT&T allows you to create a password. So there's a bunch of little different options, I guess, with some of these. If you're worried about something like that, you can go and kind of do something preventative. So we'll see. We'll see. Big leak. These are some of the ones they recommended. I've been hearing a lot about this Aura, but I don't know what it is. Aura, I've heard of LifeLock a lot. It's expensive, though. It's kind of pricey. Identity Guard, never heard of that. I don't know. I might check it out. I don't know. Ultra plan is expensive. Lower tiers don't offer a lot of features. ID Watchdog, I've heard of that. No free trial. Customer support unavailable by chat. ID Watchdog. I've heard of those people. Dark web monitoring, social security monitoring, managed identity resolution. And they have Aura. Black social media monitoring. Some other services are cheaper. I don't know. I don't even know if this stuff's worth it or not, but Identity Force, ID Shield. Well, they got a bunch of stuff online. I know, right? All these hacks. I mean, if you haven't watched a good docu to watch on Netflix is Ashley Madison. That shit was wild. That was a good show. It was it's based off an app where people that are in relationships and married meet up and hook up. And it's a huge app, and that database got leaked out, and so many people got in trouble. There's all this shit. They're still in business. That was wild. Ashley. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? Trending news? Famous Amos, Social Security. Grok. Monkeypox. They're coming for it. Oh. They're saying Dr. Disrespect also deleted his admission post to talking with a minor inappropriately. Lord! I know Hoke said that earlier. Some legal person told him to delete it or something. I mean, it's out there everywhere. It's out there. Use scammer paybacks coupon code on Aura. Oh, I like. Have I seen that? I sometimes watch the scammer pages. Have I seen that? Oh, okay. Actually, I used to watch this guy. Damn, he said 7 million. Wow. Is this him? Let's see if it's the same guy. Holy crap. I don't remember what he was at last time, but he wasn't that. I don't even think it was 1 million when I saw him last.
They're seeking these people out.
No, this is somebody else. I confused him for somebody else. I need another good thing to watch on Netflix. I mean, in December we have Squid Games, and we have Squid Games. And Your Honor's coming back too. Your Honor. Your Honor. Treviso. Oh, shit. No. Viva Frey warns the deep state may assassinate Kamala for sympathy after they failed to kill Trump.
If I had to think like a scoundrel, what they noticed after the failed assassination attempt on Trump was an immediate spike in his popularity, an almost heroic rise, not just nationally, but internationally. You know, they were making anime cartoons about Trump dodging the bullet. And when you see the sympathy and the public outcry in response to a failed assassination attempt, they could play that game. They can play that game on what they know to be a wildly unpopular candidate that they have currently. They can play an assassination now that they've just broadcast to the world how utterly useless the Secret Service is. They've basically, as far as I'm concerned, exposed Kamala Harris to something that they can then try to pin on an act of reprisal from the right who are angry at the attempted assassination on Trump. There's no depth to which they will not stoop. And that would, if I'm thinking really cynically, and I hate putting this in the universe, Kamala's wildly unpopular. You could get a sympathy vote. You could impose martial law and say, well, now we can't even have elections anymore, at least in person, because of the risk of terrorism at polling stations. So all digital voting, and replace her with someone who's not known to be detestable and detested. I don't know if Michelle Obama, people say she doesn't want to get into politics. I don't think the deep state leaves the choice to the people who have benefited from the deep state modus operandi. But it's
that would be pretty wild. I don't think that would happen, but. I don't know. They saw the sympathy that keep getting all these heat advisories. I wonder if this is why the plants are drying out between 107 and 112. What the hell? Oh, the heat index, though. Oh, Dexter, yes. Dexter. Josh Duggar from 19 Kids and Counting was exposed for being on there. Kyra, what's up? All right, I guess I'm going to head out for now, man. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Hopefully we'll see some chases or something. Watch this panel he did today with Mike. Mind-blowing. All right, I'm going to have to check that out. Yeah, Benny Johnson. I like Benny Johnson. All right, guys. Peace.